Hey guys, this is Dan with Gears and Gadgets. Thanks for tuning in. It's been a minute since I've been on the bike. Today I did want to do a motovlog and talk about the future of Harley-Davidson. I know I've done this a lot, and I don't mean to do it as a beating a dead horse, but there's always just some sort of article out lately, it seems, where Harley-Davidson's struggling to get in touch with the younger market. And it's just so maddening because in all reality, I mean, it just doesn't seem that hard. They're not trying, in my opinion, to do the things they need to be doing. And, I have a really hard time. I just saw an article about...
You don't have to be a motorcyclist to recognize the flames and that familiar logo, but a famous Worcester Diner is being told that its tribute to Harley-Davidson has to go. Thing is, the sign has been on the Miss Worcester Diner for years, and no one seemed to mind.
That was until someone took a photo of it, sent it to the motorcycle company.
And the company wants it gone.
I don't have the kind of money to fight Harley-Davidson.
Harley-Davidson didn't immediately get back to us for comment. Kim is optimistic she will be able to keep the Harley-Davidson logo on her diner, but if she has to take it down, she feels like she's already won after seeing all the support she's gotten from the community.
I get it. There's intellectual property. They want to protect the brand, and they don't want somebody coming off as selling as if they're somehow affiliated with the brand. And I just don't think anybody in the world, anywhere, would have cared about that little diner using that bar and shield. But now it's all over the news worldwide. Everybody can see that Harley-Davidson is crushing this little diner for using their logo. So it's just bad press, low reward for high risk of protecting the brand. I don't know. I just feel like younger markets, younger crowds, if they see those kinds of things in the news, it just shies them away from the brand, in my opinion. I think sending a cease and desist to that little diner, it ultimately does more harm than it does good for protecting the brand in the grand scheme of things. I don't know. I just, look, again, I understand they have to protect people abusing the name and trying to capitalize on their name, but if by protecting it, it just damages the brand. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about that. It's definitely a little bit of a catch-22. I understand that, but the one thing I do find promising is I did read an article a couple weeks ago about Harley-Davidson is going to allow shareholders to vote or appoint some board members, which, hopefully letting the shareholders have a little bit of say in that maybe will get rid of some of the old hat that's currently making up the Harley board of directors and all the decisions that are being made. What I think when it comes to Harley just not being in any of the right places, I mean, I talk about YouTube all the time, and I'm not asking for Harley's support for my channel. This isn't like oh, poor Dan from Gears and Gadgets wants some Harley money. I don't really care personally. What I do care about is that Harley is nowhere to be found on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok as far as supporting creators. And I don't know if they just are angry about the new form of media and what people are paying attention to, but what I will say is that's where the young people are. That's where the eyes are. If you want to be seen in those areas, you're gonna have to go there. So let me get back into my rant here after I get some gas. Alright, so now that gassing is out of the way, one of my points that I wanted to make is looking at some of the larger Harley YouTubers that are out there. And I say Harley YouTubers, sounds kind of dumb, but guys who have promoted Harley over the years, and that would be John Maxwell, Adam Sandoval, Blockhead, and then you compare their channels to the Harley-Davidson YouTube channel. Harley's around 200,000 subscribers, but then you look at these individual creators, and if you don't think for 2 seconds the amount of hard work and effort that goes into just some random guy putting out YouTube videos, learning how to edit, doing all of those things, compared to Harley-Davidson, this huge brand who has resources out the wazoo to do incredible content, and yet their subscriber counts are, you know, relatively similar. I would say anybody within 50,000 subscribers of that, you know, larger corporation should be acknowledged as being just as relevant to the marketing of that product. The reason for that is because I know, as well, you know, the viewers of my channel, and I'm not putting myself in that same tier of content creators, but the viewers of my channel, I know you guys appreciate the fact that I'm just me out riding around motorcycles, and I'm out, you know, sharing that content with you guys, and I'm not the corporation. My message is not filtered through corporate media, and that is just something that the younger generation needs to see. It's not an option. This is not an option. I'm not saying that Harley-Davidson needs to start handing out $20,000, $30,000 motorcycles to all these content creators and start pushing product like that on these channels, because in my opinion that comes off as biased opinions anyways. But what they could be doing is just showing support for these creators. It's very easy, and I would imagine that some of the larger creators deal with this at a grander scale, but to start putting out videos and getting comments from people saying, hey, I really appreciate your video, you really helped me in my purchasing decision for a Harley-Davidson, or hey, you know, I was looking at the bikes and I saw you riding around your Heritage and I trust your opinion, so I went out and bought one. That's far more valuable than any nonsense commercial Harley can put on their own channel, and that is why those content creators have as many followers as they do, or subscribers as they do, is because people value their honest opinions. So what Harley could be doing, again, instead of just handing out bikes and losing all credibility, which is kind of what happened with their interns, and I think that's why they bailed on that whole Find Your Freedom intern thing, but just start supporting these YouTubers with ad buys on their channels. Harley should come out and say, hey, look, you know, we really appreciate what these YouTubers are doing. We understand there's a value to it. Independent content creation is where it's at. So we are now going to support the independent content creators, and we are going to run ads against their videos specifically as a way to provide them with a little bit of money for producing those videos. And now Harley can then turn around and say, oh, well, you know, this creator no longer fits our brand, so we just decided to pull ads from them. No harm, no foul, super easy, gives them an exit strategy that they don't even really have to acknowledge because there's no contracts involved. So that would encourage people to continue, including the smaller creators, putting out content that is independent, honest videos where Harley buys some ad space against it. They can sell their message against the content that's being created. I don't get to pick who runs ads on my channel. Anybody can, really. So you can buy an ad and run it on my channel if you want. So Harley absolutely could do that and just start supporting the smaller people who have worked their asses off to promote their brand to the younger generation that Harley is struggling to connect with. It's a no-brainer. Why are they not doing this? So, you know, it just, to me, Harley is just living in this world that no longer exists, and they're getting mad that it doesn't exist. It's insane. So TikTok is another thing. TikTok, there's all these creators out there spending time creating content that they're actually making no money off of whatsoever, and you have these creators who have 10, 20 million followers on a platform. I've yet to see any Harley-Davidson content on that platform. So what exactly are they mad that they're not connecting with if they're not even there? I mean, Harley's getting mad that they're not winning a game that they're not even trying to play. That's absurd. There's all of these platforms that, okay, sure, they have a YouTube channel, but meanwhile, they're not acknowledging the people who are actually genuinely connecting with an audience on that same platform. They're just trying to buy, I guess, their way into it. And it's easy to identify, and people aren't going to fall for it. So my advice to Harley-Davidson is stop trying to do it the hard way. Do it the easy way, because the platforms are there. People have already spent the time and energy building those platforms. You need to find a way to start supporting those people so that they continue promoting your brand, because what will happen, and mark my word, is if Harley does not start supporting some of these people who have worked so hard to promote the brand, those people are just going to kind of stop, and that's not going to be good for the brand, really. So suing companies for using the logo on some little diner where that news travels to everybody's cell phone and everybody now is reading about how Harley-Davidson is just crushing this tiny little diner, those are the kinds of things that are going to make people shy away from the brand. Again, I understand why they're doing it. I'm not saying that the reason why they're doing it is wrong, but I'm saying that it's kind of a cut off your nose to spite your face legal battle that I think that instance alone should have been left alone. Sure, if there's some diner out there that calls themselves the Harley-Davidson Diner, sure, go and sue those guys. But some little diner that just threw a logo up on the outside of the building, you know, whatever. Maybe let that one go. So Harley needs to start maybe choosing which hill they want to die on a little more wisely. I don't think that they're doing a great job of that. I think that this just goes to show the age and old school thought process on that current board of guys who are just not really connecting or understanding how to connect with the younger generation, when really it's not all that hard. It's really not that hard. Just be where the eyes are. Be in the game that you're trying to win, and don't turn your nose up at it. Pick the low-hanging fruit and then go for the hard stuff after that, in my opinion. And then, you know, when you show up to the game, you play and you lose, and it was an honest, hard-fought game, at least you showed up and tried. Don't complain about the rules of the game before you even tried to play it. So that's my opinion, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. If this is your first time tuning in, please hit that subscribe button down below. Remember, likes go a long way to help support the channel. I'll see you guys next time.